The lotus in the muddy pond, rising above adversity. Once upon a time, in a small village in India, there lived a young boy named Arjun. Arjun was known for his unyielding spirit and boundless curiosity. He lived with his widowed mother, Meera, who worked tirelessly as a weaver to provide for their modest needs. Their village, though picturesque, was grappling with adversity. A severe drought had gripped the region, causing the once lush fields to wither and the ponds to dry up. Farmers struggled to feed their families, and hope was a rare commodity. One day, as Arjun wandered along the parched riverbed, he spotted a curious sight: a tiny lotus flower nestled in a muddy pond. It was the only lotus in the entire area, and its vibrant pink petals stood out against the dreary backdrop. Arjun couldn't help but wonder how such a delicate flower could thrive in such adverse conditions. Driven by his insatiable curiosity, Arjun began visiting the lotus every day. He would sit by the pond, observing the flower as it swayed gracefully in the breeze, unaffected by the muck that surrounded it. It became his daily ritual, a source of inspiration amidst the prevailing despair. One evening, while Arjun was watching the lotus, an elderly man named Guruji approached him. Guruji was a revered sage who often imparted wisdom to the villagers. "Why do you spend so much time by this muddy pond, young Arjun?" Guruji asked, his eyes twinkling with wisdom. Arjun looked at the lotus and then back at Guruji. "Because, Guruji, this lotus teaches me something precious. It thrives in adversity, rising above the mud and blooming beautifully. It reminds me that even in the toughest of times, there is hope." Guruji smiled and nodded. "You are a keen observer, Arjun. The lotus does indeed carry a profound message. Just as it rises above the mud, so can a person rise above adversity, no matter how dire the circumstances." Arjun listened intently as Guruji continued. "To rise above adversity, one must possess two qualities: resilience and a positive attitude. Resilience, like the lotus, allows us to withstand the muck that life sometimes throws at us. A positive attitude, on the other hand, helps us see beauty even in the darkest of times." Arjun was eager to learn more. "But how can one develop these qualities, Guruji?" Guruji replied, "Resilience comes from facing challenges head-on, learning from them, and growing stronger. It is like a tree that bends with the wind, but does not break. As for a positive attitude, it is a choice we make each day. We can choose to focus on the mud or look beyond it, just as the lotus does." Arjun nodded thoughtfully, absorbing Guruji's words of wisdom. From that day on, he resolved to embrace resilience and maintain a positive attitude, just like the lotus in the muddy pond. As weeks turned into months, Arjun faced his fair share of challenges. The drought continued, making life even more difficult for his family and the entire village. But Arjun remained undeterred. He helped his mother with her weaving, comforted the villagers, and continued his visits to the lotus, drawing strength from its presence. One particularly scorching day, when hope seemed to be waning, Arjun made a startling discovery. The muddy pond, which had been steadily shrinking, was slowly filling up with rainwater. The long-awaited monsoon had arrived. Excitement coursed through the village as the first drops of rain fell from the sky. The parched earth soaked up the precious moisture, and the villagers watched in awe as the fields began to turn green once more. Arjun, however, couldn't contain his joy. He rushed to the lotus pond and saw that the once lone lotus had multiplied. Dozens of lotus flowers now adorned the water's surface, their pink petals glistening in the rain. Guruji, who had been observing from a distance, approached Arjun and said, "You see, my dear Arjun, just as you remained resilient and positive in the face of adversity, nature too has its way of rejuvenating itself. The Lotus, like your village, has flourished once more. The villagers celebrated the return of abundance with songs and dance. Arjun, still in awe of the transformation, knew that the lotus in the muddy pond had played a significant role in reminding him of life's enduring beauty. Years passed, and Arjun grew into a young man known for his unwavering spirit, just like the lotus he had admired in his youth. He continued to visit the lotus pond, not as a curious boy, but as a symbol of hope and resilience for the entire village. And so, the tale of the lotus in the muddy pond became a legend in the village, a reminder to all that no matter how difficult the circumstances, the human spirit, like the lotus, could rise above adversity and bloom beautifully amidst the mud of life.